Hey Amanda, how you doing? All right, so I'm just kind of going through this. I don't know if you've looked at some of the other discussion board responses, but I'm just kind of going through this, just kind of giving you my thoughts, a little bit of feedback on my reactions to the logos. Now you're perfectly free to pursue the direction that you want, but let me just give you my reactions here. So the World Wildlife Fund, this is going to be a tough one. Let me see. Updated to most endangered animal nowadays, even though pandas are still endangered. The leopard. Okay, so the thing I see with this is oh wait, where did it go? Here it is. This is one of the probably the most effective ads regarding negative space that's ever been created. It's consistently in lists of the best logos ever. And the reason it's because it's just a wonderful play on figure ground relationships, establishing negative space as a design element, so to speak. So we see other uses of negative space, expeditious use of negative space, specifically in the FedEx logo with the arrow. I'm sure you've seen that. But this is going to be a really, really tough one. Um, so I just want you to be aware of that this is probably one of the most admired logos in the last 50 years. So that said, I'm not real sure if if this can be improved on. I'm like I said, you're more than welcome to pursue this direction, but I just want to give you my take on this. Now the Barnes and Noble, I think Scott is doing the Barnes and Noble, but if you go ahead and review my video in Scott's post, I talk about the Barnes and Noble being something that it's very stoic, very classic, however, very contemporary at the same time. But my whole thing with the Barnes and Noble ad is the ampersand. It just doesn't fit. It looks almost juvenile. It looks almost like an afterthought of this wonderfully designed typeface in the all caps, standing very proud, standing very strong. And then you have this really weak, kind of fragile, frail little ampersand that's even at the wrong, kind of like the wrong angle. So my biggest issue with this logo right here is the ampersand, and this also comes in a horizontal version, and there's a stacked version and a horizontal version. In Scott's post, he posted the horizontal version, so you might want to take a look at that. I would go for the Yoplait. I think it's terrible. I always have. The main thing that bothers me about the Yoplait yogurt logo is the fact that it's very angular. The typeface itself is very angular. We can see these angular descenders, angular ascenders. Even the X, the X height for the I and the tittle for the I. Also that horizontal arm for the T. You can also see they all got kind of like this angular approach to them, and I just don't think that follows the. Yogurt is creamy and smooth and organic. And this is very angular, so I don't see a good connection between the typeface and the product itself. Also, I think that's a limited use of color, and I agree with your statement on color. Red and yellow are two colors that are not associated, especially this kind of full saturated, typically not associated with yogurt. If you look at strawberry yogurt, it's not bright red like that because they don't use a ton of dye in it. So I agree with the color. I like the flow of the logo. I like this kind of flow right here. The only thing is this flow right here points away from original. So as we look through the yogurt, you're seeing this little swirl right here and these marks up here are guiding the eye up here, which is guiding the eye away from the word original. So I see that as somewhat problematic as well. Okay, so I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. But please feel free to approach and pursue the direction you feel has the most potential. All right, Amanda, thank you very much.